In just one generation, China went from widespread poverty to producing almost everything the world touches. Your phone, your shoes, your television, even the Christmas lights hanging in homes thousands of miles away. But China's rise didn't happen by accident. Behind the skyscrapers and billion-dollar factories lies a story of political survival, ruthless efficiency, economic experimentation, and one of the greatest transformations in human history. This is the untold story of how China became the world's factory. In the 1970s, China was still recovering from decades of chaos. The economy was weak. Factories were outdated. Millions lived in extreme poverty. Under Mao Zedong, China had isolated itself from much of the global economy. Private business barely existed, and strict state control slowed innovation. Then, in 1978, everything changed. A new leader, named Deng Xiaoping, made a radical decision. China would open its doors to the world. Not politically, economically. It was a gamble that would reshape the planet. Deng Xiaoping understood something simple. China had one resource larger than any oil reserve or gold mine: people. Hundreds of millions of workers, willing to work for extremely low wages. So China created special economic zones, cities where foreign companies could build factories with fewer restrictions and cheaper labor. One small fishing village called Shenzhen became the center of this experiment. At the time, almost nobody believed it would matter. Today, Shenzhen is one of the richest and most technologically advanced cities on Earth. Factories appeared everywhere. Roads expanded overnight. Ports grew larger. Entire cities were built around manufacturing, and global companies noticed. During the 1980s and 1990s, Western corporations were searching for one thing: cheaper production. Making products in America or Europe was expensive. Labor unions demanded higher wages. Regulations slowed manufacturing. China offered the opposite: cheap labor, fast construction, government support, and a workforce so massive it seemed almost endless. Companies rushed in. Brands like Apple, Nike, and Walmart increasingly depended on Chinese factories to supply the world. Soon, containers filled with made-in-China products flooded global markets, and China became richer with every shipment. But cheap labor alone does not create a superpower. The real secret was speed. China could build factories faster than almost any nation in history. While other countries debated policies for years, China built highways, ports, rail systems, and industrial cities at astonishing speed. The government poured money into infrastructure. Millions of workers moved from rural villages into giant manufacturing hubs. Entire supply chains formed in one place. In some Chinese cities, a phone factory could receive raw materials in the morning, assemble devices by afternoon, and ship them across the world by night. No country could compete at that scale. By the early 2000s, China officially joined the global economy through the World Trade Organization. That moment accelerated everything. Factories multiplied, exports exploded, and China became known as the world's factory. But this rise came with a price. Factory workers often worked exhausting hours for low pay. Cities became heavily polluted. Rivers turned toxic. Smog covered entire skylines. At the same time, many factories in Western countries shut down because they could no longer compete with China's lower costs. Entire industries disappeared overseas. While consumers enjoyed cheaper products, millions of manufacturing jobs vanished in other parts of the world. China's rise didn't just transform China. It transformed globalization itself. Today, China is no longer just producing cheap toys and clothes. It now leads in electric vehicles, advanced manufacturing, artificial intelligence, and global trade. But the story of how China became the world's factory was never just about factories. It was about timing, control, globalization, and a nation willing to reinvent itself faster than the rest of the world could react. The next time you see the words "made" in China. Remember, you're looking at the result of one of the most ambitious economic transformations in modern history. The world changed because one nation learned how to build everything. The question is, who controls the future next? Subscribe to uncover the hidden realities shaping our world.